Miles Morales comes from Earth 1610, also known as the Ultimate Universe. He was introduced in Ultimate Fallout number 4 from August 2011. When the 2015 Secret Wars event came, Miles was one of the survivors from the Ultimate Universe incursion that traveled to Earth 616, the main Marvel universe. After Battleworld was reconstructed into a new Earth 616, Miles and the Maker were the only people from the Ultimate Universe who remained. The Maker, who's a villainous version of Reed Richards from Earth 1610, felt a connection with Miles for that. He even invited Miles to come live in a new universe with him in 2023. However, he refused the Maker's offer in Ultimate Invasion number 1, June 2023. Miles got a much better life after coming to 616, because at the end of Secret Wars, the Molecule Man brought Miles' mother, Rio Morales, back to life and let him bring his family to the new universe. That may have triggered Miles' memories. After being integrated into the main Marvel universe, the memories of characters from other universes come in fragments. But in 2017, Miles admitted to Peter that these memories could be strong in Spider-Man 2 number 5, December 2017. In Miles' case, there are a few things that can trigger flashbacks of his life in the Ultimate Universe. For example, contact with symbiotes. When Miles met Eddie Brock for the first time in Venom Volume 4, number 3, June 2018, Miles attacked him because seeing a symbiote triggered memories of the death of his mother. He also started to regain more of his memories after experiments by the Assessor in Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 10, September 2019. The Assessor's experiments not only unlocked traumatic events from Miles' past, but temporarily disassociated him from his sense of self. He began questioning whether he mattered in a world where he now coexists with Spider-Man variants. Champions is a team of young heroes who was founded in response to their disappointment with older heroes like the Avengers. When Miles crossed over to 616 permanently, he trained with Peter Parker and joined the Avengers. Everything was fine until Civil War II. Ulysses Kane, an Inhuman precog, saw a vision interpreted to mean Miles would kill Steve Rogers in Civil War II, number 5, September 2016. Miles sided with Iron Man. In the end, Miles never killed Steve Rogers, and Tony Stark had apparently died. The experience was so traumatic for Miles and other heroes of his generation that they decided to do something about it. Miles, Ms. Marvel, and Nova left the Avengers and co-founded the new version of the Champions. Along with Kamala Khan, Sam Alexander, and Miles Morales, 2 more members joined: Amadeus Cho, aka Brawn, who is essentially the new Hulk, and Viv Vision in Champions, Volume 2, Number 1, October 2016. The team was also eventually joined by other young heroes, including a time-displaced teenage Scott Summers, the X-Men's Cyclops, and Riri Williams, aka Ironheart. Over time, the Champions grew to also include heroes like Patriot and Bombshell. The team tackled social justice themes, such as child detainment camps and immigration enforcement, making them one of Marvel's most politically aware superhero teams. Going back to when Miles was still in the Ultimate Universe before Secret Wars, he had a complicated relationship with his father following the death of Miles' mother. Miles' father, Jefferson, blamed Spider-Man for what had happened to Miles' mother and uncle. When Galactus came to eat Earth 1610, Miles immediately tried saving his father, the only family he had left in Cataclysm, the Ultimate's last stand. In Cataclysm, Ultimate Spider-Man number 3, December 2013, Jefferson refused Spider-Man's help, so Miles had to reveal his true identity. Jefferson did not handle it well, placing his anger on Miles before a plane crash separated them. His father was nowhere to be found when Miles got home. Jefferson is later revealed to be alive and even joins S.H.I.E.L.D. to try and help Miles in his own misguided way, adding more complexity to their eventual reunion on Earth 616. Eventually, Jefferson retired from active duty to focus on his family, especially after witnessing how his decisions affected Miles. Their bond remains rocky but strong, with both constantly navigating father-son expectations within their unique context. Miles dated Kate Bishop for a while in the Ultimate Universe. She was Miles' classmate at Brooklyn Visions Academy in Ultimate Comics Spider-Man number 23, May 2013. Unlike her Earth 16 counterpart, this Kate Bishop did not become Hawkeye, but a secret Hydra member. Miles one day told Kate about his secret identity. She apparently ran away in fear and stopped talking to Miles, as revealed in Miles Morales, Ultimate Spider-Man number 2, June 2014. However, on the same night that Miles' dad returned home to reconnect with his son, Miles decided to reconnect with Kate as well. Miles went to Kate's house and was suddenly attacked by her father. He revealed himself to be working for Hydra and said that all members of the family are Hydra agents, including Kate in Miles Morales, Ultimate Spider-Man, SARC 7-12, 2014. Hydra abducted Miles' family and friends. In partnership with Dr. Doom, their goal was to experiment on Miles to reverse engineer his spider powers, but Doom's tests accidentally triggered an enhanced venom blast in Miles, and he broke free. Needless to say, he broke up with the Ultimate Universe Kate Bishop after that. Kate's betrayal left a lasting emotional scar on Miles. In later series, he references her during moments of trust issues. After Miles began working with S.H.I.E.L.D. to track down his father, who was lost in another universe, he met the Gwen Stacy of Earth 65, where Gwen Stacy is a rock drummer by day and vigilante by night. They quickly became friends. Soon, Miles and Gwen embarked on a romance in Spider-Man Volume 2, number 12, January 2017. She was Spider-Woman at the time, but would later become known as the Ghost Spider. Their connection may be easier to imagine if you have seen the 2023 animated movie Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. However, in the comics, the romance between them was pretty brief. Still during the same story arc called Sittin' in the Tree, the two decided to remain friends in Spider-Gwen Volume 2, number 18, March 2017. Unlike Peter and Gwen's doomed romance in the main timeline, Miles and Gwen have a different connection. Their relationship continues sporadically across the multiverse and in Spider-Verse stories, symbolizing how Miles' story was always meant to be interdimensional. The duo's chemistry has made them fan favorites across Marvel media. In alternate realities like Earth 8, Miles and Gwen are shown to be long-term partners. Despite these possibilities, mainline Marvel has opted to keep their bond platonic for now. Back to his time with the Champions, let's talk about the Secret Empire event. An evil clone of Steve Rogers working for Hydra took over the United States. The Champions joined a resistance led by Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow. Natasha planned to assassinate the evil Captain America. She still remembered Kane's premonition from Civil War, which involved Miles Morales. But when it came the moment for Miles to finally kill Steve Rogers, Black Widow stopped him to prevent him from becoming like her, and that led to her own demise. In the end, Natasha sacrificed herself to remind Miles he is not a killer. But seeing Natasha be killed by Cap's shield got him filled with rage. Miles nearly killed Steve Rogers in revenge, but Nadia Van Dyne intervened at the last moment. Wasp reminded him why Black Widow had sacrificed herself. Miles stopped, realizing he needed to control himself in honor of her bravery. Miles and the rest of the Resistance continued honor her fight, kept resisting Hydra without killing the evil Steve Rogers clone, and eventually managed to force Hydra out of power in Secret Empire number 7, July 2017. The aftermath of this storyline showed how Secret Empire changed how other heroes perceived Miles. Characters like Ms. Marvel and Nova began to follow his lead more than before. Even in the darkest moments of Secret Empire, he was still a great team member. And that's not the only death that weighs heavy on Miles Morales' conscience. When the Champions fought the electromagnetism manipulator Zizax in Dubai, both Viv and Kamala were lost in the battle in Champions, Volume 3, Number 2, 4, 2019. Suddenly, Mephisto appeared with an offer to revive them at no charge to their souls. Amadeus refused the Hell Lord's offer, but Miles was corrupted by the memories of meeting Kamala for the first time. Miles agreed to Mephisto's offer to make time go back, allowing the death of the Champions team members to be prevented. Only Miles and Brawn remembered what happened once time was restored to the past of that day. Despite being able to bring his friends back, Miles eventually realized the price he had to pay. He had rescued a girl named Farida in the first version of that day, but she never survived the events of the rewritten day after Mephisto turned back time. Miles couldn't stop thinking about Farida and felt incredibly guilty. Kamala grew suspicious of his preoccupied behavior and asked him what was going on. Miles then finally told Kamala about accepting Mephisto's offer. Kamala felt she had failed the team as leader, but Miles saw it differently. He insisted she stay with the champions, and he quit the team instead. He decided to take some time to think about the responsibilities of being Spider-Man. This storyline from the third volume of Champions is a subtle yet powerful character shift for Miles. Not only did he make a deal with one of Marvel's most manipulative demons, but he also learned that most wins only mean someone else is losing. The weight of letting one person die to save others foreshadows the morally gray territory Miles will continue to walk on as he matures. In later issues, the trauma from this decision continues to follow him. Though he stepped away from the champions temporarily, this wasn't an act of abandoning his duties, but accountability. Miles becomes worried about how heroism works in a world where the line between good and evil is increasingly blurred. Tiana Toombs is the teenage granddaughter of Adrian Toombs, also known as the Vulture, one of Spider-Man's enemies. She grew up idolizing her grandfather. Her father left her when she was young. After her mother died due to a medical error in surgery, Adrian offered Tiana his guardianship. But before learning about his grandfather's criminal past, she herself became a superhero. Tiana's alias is Starling, and she used a Vulture suit replica given to her by Adrian. Unlike the Tiana Toons of other universes who's villainous, the Tiana of the main timeline teams up with Miles to save the day in Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 31, October 2021. Their relationship explores the tension between legacy and individuality. Tiana is trying to escape her grandfather's shadow, while Miles is trying to live up to Peter's. Their bond grows through shared battles, but the long-term future of their romance remains uncertain. Even after their romantic relationship fizzled, Tiana remained a close ally. One of the most significant plot twists in Marvel Comics in 2024 was definitely when Miles Morales became a vampire in the Blood Hunt crossover event in Blood Hunt number 2, May 2024. During Marvel's Vampire Apocalypse event, the supernatural world erupted as Earth is plunged into darkness. Miles plays a key role in saving 616, but at a high price. This was the consequence of his actions to save the universe from a vampire plague. In Blood Hunt number 5, July 2024, it's revealed that Miles was not temporarily transformed into a vampire, but will in fact remain one moving forward in Marvel canon. Unlike others who fully succumbed, Miles retained his personality and free will, thanks in part to his spider powers. However, his transformation still brought immense challenges. He now requires blood to survive, wrestles with urges he doesn't fully understand, and has to keep his darker instincts in check, especially around his friends. This echoes the themes of Blade's own arc, and has led to the two characters teaming up, with Blade mentoring Miles on how to navigate his new instincts without losing his humanity. Marvel writers have confirmed that this new state for Miles won't be reversed quickly, and the long-term effects of his vampirism have yet to be explored in more adventures, since this change just happened. Seeking salvation for his vampiric state, Miles travels to Wakanda, hoping to perform a sacred ritual under the watch of Bast, the Panther god. But the god Bast refuses to intervene, and the ritual is interrupted by two invading deities. One of them is Kwaku Anansi, the spider god in certain African mythologies. These forces duel over Miles' corrupted soul, and Black Panther clashes with Spider-Man over whose path will triumph. In this ritual over Miles' soul, it becomes clear that his soul belongs to Anansi. In fact, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Volume 2, number 28, January 2025, reveals that he is a herald of Anansi. This comes as a shock to Miles himself, who had no idea his soul had been claimed by the Spider God. Anansi's introduction into the Marvel Universe is a game changer, not only for Miles, but for the entire landscape of mythological figures in Marvel Comics. Anansi is an important figure in West African and Caribbean folklore. In being named a herald of Anansi, Miles' connection to the web of life and destiny, a multiversal force in Spider-Man lore, is elevated to a divine significance.
What's this?
This is everything.
As a herald, Miles begins to experience visions and ancestral memories through Anansi's blessing. These visions often come during battles or moments of moral conflict, helping him navigate choices between violence, mercy, and sacrifice. This means that his sacrifice that turned him into a vampire didn't make him corrupted like other vampires because of Anansi, not only his own powers. This implies that Miles' existence as a Spider-Man is not simply the result of random mutation or legacy, but a form of spiritual mission and predestination. This spiritual elevation may explain why he has survived multiversal extinction events and why so many powerful characters have taken an interest in him. The reveal also hints that Miles might be destined to act as the new main bridge between mythological, mystical, and street-level forces within Marvel. We can't wait to see where Marvel Comics takes Miles Morales. What is your favorite thing about the character? Let's discuss his trajectory in the comments, and remember to subscribe. Until next time, thanks for watching CBR.